A review of Soul Eater Not. It's, not Soul Eater. Soul Eater Not is a slice of life / comedy series based on a manga by Atsushi Okubo, the writer of the original Soul Eater. This series acts as both a sequel and a spin-off. The anime was created by Studio Bones, known for their work on Soul Eater, Fullmetal, Alchemist, Brotherhood, Space Dandy, and a whole platter of brilliant action series. But without further ado, I present the anime review of Soul Eater Not. This is not Soul Eater, it is Soul Eater Not. It's the simplest way of explaining the show to you. Soul Eater was a shonen battle series with heavy gothic themes and over-the-top action sequences. It was a blast. But Soul Eater Not is not Soul Eater. Cast aside your expectations for action sequences or a dark plot, because what you've got instead is a slice-of-life comedy series with a similar setting and brief references to the original series. Soul Eater Not takes place in an indefinite amount of time before Soul Eater and follows the story of Tsugumi, Anya and Meme as they join Shibusen Academy and enter into the Not class, a class of students who don't really intend on fighting but just control their powers. What powers, you ask? Well, Shibusen is made up of two types of students, Meisters and Weapons, and the weapons can turn into weapons. It's pretty simple, really. So because these students are in the Not class, they're not out hunting witches. This makes it easy to introduce the slice of life genre to this show. They don't really have anything better to do. It literally is just cute girls doing cute things for the most part. But that's not a criticism, because even though Studio Bones hasn't done a show like this since Ouran Highschool Host Club, and Okuba has never worked on a sci show before, it's done very well. I was constantly laughing at Meme's shenanigans and smiling as Tsugumi makes a new friend. That's what this show is all about. Tsugumi and her friends find themselves in a new social situation, and they have fun working through it. There's really not much more to it. It's a slice of life series. Or is it? There is an overarching narrative here which is very Soul Eater. A witch is attacking Shibusen, and as the show goes on, this starts to become more and more prevalent. It's a massive twist in tone, and whilst I was initially against the idea of introducing a darker plot to a slice series, I quickly got used to it just because of how it's structured. As much as I've said it's not Soul Eater, it's times like these that make me think, well, maybe it's a little bit Soul Eater? Although Soul Eater little bit isn't nearly as fun to say. Another way Soul Eater maneuvers its way into this series is the fan service. No, not that type of fan service. I'm talking about the constant cameos of original Soul Eater characters, including Maka, Blackstar, and Death the Kid. It was cool when they came on screen, but they were purely there for Soul Eater fans. They don't engage in any sort of plot. Their dialogue is very one-dimensional, with the writers shouting, "Hey, you remember Death the Kid? He likes symmetry, let's make him do that!" and nothing more. But that should not be your reason for watching Soul Eater Not. Because, well, it's not Soul Eater. Maka the powerful Maester, Soul the Death Scythe, and Death the Kid, heir to the Grim Reaper? Screw them! Now we've got a brand new cast of lovable characters. So, let's get profiling. Tsugumi is a Japanese Shibusen student who can turn into a halberd and is the protagonist of the series. She's always upbeat and is eager to meet new people and try new things. To give an example, she's the Haruhi of the group, which would make Meme Asahina and Anya can be Kyon. Anyways, as a weapon she needs to decide who will be her partner, Anya or Meme. But she just can't choose, and that adds another overarching plot to this. Who will be Tsugumi's partner? Meme is the forgetful, ditzy character that adds a lot of comic relief to an already funny show. Even though it's mostly the same jokes over and over when Meme forgets something important, there's some parts that just made me laugh out loud. But even when she's forgetting things, she's a compassionate character and a reliable friend. Anya is everyone's favourite stuck-up tsundere character. While she is annoying when you take her at face value, she's the straight man to the other's endeavours and is an entertaining, essential character in the end. Even though Tsugumi is outgoing, she isn't brave enough to face danger, which is where Anya comes in. Both Anya and Meme are athletic, which helps develop the weak Tsugumi as a character. There are many other characters that Tsugumi and her friends encounter throughout the show, whether new characters or characters from Soul Eater. To be honest, even though the major characters from Soul Eater seem very flat, the minor characters that got more screen time, such as Kim Deal and the Thompson sisters, were far more entertaining to watch. Now you might notice that the art is a bit different from the original series. Yep, whilst there was a lot of flat colours and simplistic designs in the original, Soul Eater Not emulates many other Slice series before it, with a strong emphasis on blushes, smooth shading and detail. See, here's a picture of Kim from the original series, and now compare that to the Soul Eater Not Kim and you'll see what I mean. But that's because, once again, it's not Soul Eater. It's Soul Eater Not. Although it does have certain visual aspects from Soul Eater, namely, there is some action scenes. Whilst I had no issue with the animation in the social sequences with a variety of emotive character expressions, there were a couple of examples of absolutely terrible animation in the fight scenes. Wait, Bones? What are you playing at? This is all you do! All you do is fucking action! How do you screw this up? What even is this meant to be? That said, even though some of the fight scenes look terrible, they sound fucking great. I can't wait for the soundtrack to come out and it pains me that I can't let you hear it throughout this review. But I'll show you a short clip from the first episode instead so you can see what I mean. I liked Soul Eater Not. I went into it after reading a few chapters of the manga, so I knew roughly what to expect, but it still surprised me. Even though it most certainly is not Soul Eater, there is some dark scenes that, because of the light and fluffy parts, makes it all the more shocking. I recommend Soul Eater Not to fans of slice of life / comedy series such as K-On! And the like. Cute girls doing cute things is essentially the premise here, and if that's up your alley, then you can get some good laughs out of this. I also recommend it to Soul Eater fans. The setting and world is explored even further, and the show offers some backstories and explanations to events in the original series. However, whilst I would recommend it to Soul Eater fans, that's as far as it goes. If Soul Eater is your favourite anime, if you exclusively watch action series, or if you are expecting something to fill the hole in your heart that Soul Eater has left, you will be disappointed. Once again, and for hopefully the final time, this is not Soul Eater, it is Soul Eater Not. Thank you for watching The Canipa Effect. I highly recommend that you watch Soul Eater before you watch this, just so you can get familiar with the setting. To be honest, you should watch Soul Eater anyways, it's a great show.